Welcome to Hanna Instruments. Today we're going to be going over the setup, calibration, and testing with the HI-84-100 test-free and total sulfur and wine. Once you have the meter unpacked, first thing we're going to do is hook up the probes and the tubing. Take your probe, remove the cap. In the back of the unit, we're going to have the probe hook up right here, ORP probe, power here, on-off switch. Take the B and C connector, place it over half a turn to lock it into place, put it in the ring provided on the cap. Take your tubing, connect it to your bottle of 84-100-50, which is going to be your titrant solution. Holding the black rings, place the first one in. Holding the other rings, stretch it around the pump, put it into place. The tip of your tubing will go down the tube next to the probe. Now you spin your meter back around and plug it in, turn it on. Once you turn the meter on, it's going to go through a quick self-diagnostic test. When it's done, it'll display 4 dashes across the screen. There we go. Now that we're at this stage, the next thing we're going to do is purge the pump. Your cap comes off with a half a turn, counterclockwise. Place it behind you. Put a beaker into the machine, replace the cap and tubing. Make sure your tubing is down into the beaker and press the purge button. Purge cycle will run for 5 minutes, which will make sure there's no air left in the line. Once the purge cycle is done, we'll move on to calibrating the pump. Once the purge cycle is done, we're going to remove the cap and move on to pump calibration. Take a clean beaker, add your stir bar. We're going to take the 84-100-50 calibration standard, measure 50 milliliters, preferably with a pipette or a graduated cylinder, and place into the beaker. Take your HI 84-100-53, using the small beaker provided, fill it up to the 5 milliliter line. Volume is not that important, you do not need a pipette. Take the 5 milliliters, dump it into your sample. Take your packet of 84-100-54, open it with either scissors or simply by ripping it open. Placing the contents into the beaker as well. You get a small fizz that's creating a CO2 barrier. Place it in the top of your titrator. Replace the cap. Make sure your tip is down into the solution. Hit your cal pump button. Once standard flashes across the screen, hit start. If you hear a banging noise, just lift your probe slightly until the probe is no longer being hit by the stir bar. Once the calibration is done, we'll get done flashing across the screen and it'll go back to the 4 dashes. Okay. Once we're done with calibration, you're going to hear the beep. Your sample should have a light yellow color to it. It means it's finished its titration. See the color change. Make sure, as always, rinse your probe in between tests. And then we're going to replace using a fresh beaker. Add 50 milliliters of your wine, using again a graduated cylinder or pipette. Place your wine to be tested into the beaker. Add the 5 milliliters of the -53, 1 packet of the -54. Make sure you have a stir bar. Place it back into your titrator. Replace the cap with the probe, again making sure your tip's down into the solution, and simply hit start. Once again, if you do hear your stir bar hitting your probe, just slightly lift your probe, making sure the still submerged past the junction. but no longer hitting the stir bar. Once it's finished titration, it'll put the number in parts per million across the screen. Right now we're doing free SO2. And there we go. This one has 3 parts per million of free SO2, as you can see. And that's it. To do another test, you're simply going to remove the cap and tubing, rinse your probe as always, and replace your beaker with a fresh clean beaker with a stir bar and start the process over again. At the end of the day, when you're done testing, there's only a few steps. Clear your screen by hitting the start stop button. Remove your tubing, unhooking one side, and then place the tip in the drain hole on the bottle to keep it from siphoning out while you're not using it. The probe should always be stored back into its storage tube with the storage solution. Take your probe, put the blue tip on, follow it with the O-ring to make sure it creates a seal. Place the storage tube, give it a half a turn, and you're done. And that's the HI-84-100 free and total SO2 meter by Hanna Instruments. If you have any questions or would like to purchase this product, please give us a call.